We have seen a lot of pandemics in, not us, but our generations have seen a lot of pandemics, epidemics, and all in the past.
COVID virus is already evolving, right? New variant is already like in the news. It was like.
Roll the intro. Welcome Scribblers to the new episode of DNA powered by Scribble Stories and Scribble Masters. Today, as we promised you, that we are going to bring on new episode over healthcare innovations. So here are we. I am Deepak.
I'm Marco.
And this is DNA.
Shout out to Rahul for suggesting a topic regarding healthcare and advancement of technology and all. So this episode will be sort of related to that thing. Hopefully you will be happy. Thanks for viewing our episodes and thanks for supporting us.
Like the video, share and subscribe, and thank you Rahul for so good comment regarding, so great comment
Everyone who supported us.
Everyone who has supported us.
We appreciate your likes and subscribes and shares.
This is the third episode we are shooting. So thank you so much for the support for the first episode that we got. I hope we are going to get more support from you. Comment down below whatever you want to comment on. Just a few comments and like will give us more ad to do this sort of videos for you guys. Thank you so much. So now we are going to start our new episode. As I stated before, healthcare innovations that Rahul also asked us to do. So I was talking about healthcare innovation with Orgo Banerjee, and let me give a brief point about the healthcare and the importance of healthcare in our life, the significance of healthcare in our life. So as we know, healthcare nurtures vital lives, right? It helps it has like modern healthcare has come up a long road. We were talking about the different nuances that was happening in the past.
Yeah.
So it also provides societal stability a certain degree because it gives you the foundation of like if a good health is there, a better health will be there.
Yeah.
Health is well, right?
Yeah.
So medical sector has done, healthcare sector has done a lot of things for increasing the lifespan of the humanity as a whole and for increasing our healthcare in our overall area, right? It has like come a long road in the past 100 years, honestly. So the development of vaccines are there. We have gone through COVID, right? Remember that era? That weird era?
Locked up in
lockdown. We have seen a lot of pandemics in, not us, but our generations have seen a lot of pandemics, epidemics, and all. So healthcare has also brought up a lot of economic progress in the healthcare industry as well as in the societal life also. How does it has impacted a societal life? Because with better, as I said, health is wealth. So better health has led people to do a lot of new, to grab a lot of new opportunities and something like that. And again, we have seen how we got economic boom. The healthcare sector got during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we cannot deny this thing that healthcare is something that will always go up and up. So as I said, that the modern healthcare sector and the pharmaceutical companies are like literally uprising their economic boom, just not through the the pandemic, but through the surgical things or through other different aspects. And India is known for like the healthcare industry. So my question for you would be, what are the different concepts in the modern healthcare that has come up and that has fascinated you a lot? Like you have seen this thing that, okay, this is quite fascinating in the modern healthcare.
So, if I had to talk about the modern healthcare system or the modern healthcare innovations that have like sort of created a point of interest in my mind, I'll have to go back to the time when it all started, right? Initially, in the Greek era, it was around like 400 BC. There was this physician called Hippocrates. Yes. Who was actually the baseline, who was actually the originator of all the baseline ethical practices. Or
just tell me that he looks like him.
No, it's not like that. He is the one that provided us with the Hippocratic oath.
Oh, Hippocrates. I know that. Yeah.
So doctors were actually citing the oath sourced by or written by Hippocrates, and this has been going on for like an ancient period, right? Ancient Greece. So that's the thing. So even there were certain things like Charak Samhita in our Indian culture, and Shushruta Samhita is there as well. Even there also, there are certain practices that are like mind-boggling. Okay, could be thinking, okay, this sort of practices and this sort of like advancement in healthcare were recently achieved. Like, for example, plastic surgery, right? Plastic surgery, one would think is okay, this is like a 10-20 years old practice only. It was originated in the 1900s, maybe, and like it has boomed in the recent 10-20 years due to the prevalence of people getting plastic surgeries in a large scale, especially in America and other Western countries, right? But the whole concept of plastic surgery was actually prescribed in Sushruta Samhita. Okay, there were like certain practices such as rhinoplasty was inscribed in the texts, scriptures rather than texts, and there were certain
How did we debrief all the scriptures? Like,
see, people when like archaeologists and researchers when they were properly doing sort of research regarding the old text scriptures related to medical science or anything related to like knowledge, so they came across all sort of writings that were present in Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita. Charak Samhita tells us about proper sanitation process, proper hygiene maintenance, process to like have a proper diet, process to like cure certain ailments like indigestion and certain like things that can occur on a daily basis, right? And even there are certain prescribed guidelines for sexual health as well, right?
that's quite mind.
Yeah.
Like they thought about all this.
Yeah,
thing
so that
so
this
many
sort
years
of
before.
this sort of things are like from long back we've had this sort of knowledge passed down to us, right? But in the process of colonization, we have lost certain amount of scripture, certain amount of knowledge due to the influence of Western, like England has influenced a lot. So we have forgotten a lot of things, and it was obviously because we had a lot of invaders and they destroyed a lot of scriptures, they destroyed a lot of evidences.
Yeah, Mughals also.
Yeah, Mughals, there were the.
But is there anything written about it, like that the scriptures were destroyed?
Certain portions of the text are available right now in certain museums. Maybe some is available in London's museum.
Yeah, but I heard about this thing that a lot of written thing was there in University of Nalanda.
Yeah. And it was destroyed by a
it was burned
barbaric
down
ruler.
it was burned down by
rather than ruler.
Yeah.
And even like at a point of time, if I'm considering Western history of medicine as well, we get the innovation of vaccines around 18th century, 1700 something. I'm like forgetting the exact year.
Development of vaccines?
Yeah, vaccine that was developed by Dr. Edward Jenner. It was like for smallpox. Then we also got use of anesthesia or innovation of anesthesia using ether around like 1846. So before that, it was like mostly chloroform was used in a regulated manner, and yeah, and most of the.
How do you use chloroform? I know that.
In a regulated manner.
Science has reached a lot of things.
And just imagine if you're not having a proper anesthetic agent in your like operating room, for the lack of any other word. So like a lot of people used to like get stabbed or get wounded during wars, right? And
so chloroform
chloroform was the go-to, or maybe something else was used.
मेरा लॉजिक ये है that I really believe this thing that what you said, that anesthesia जब नहीं था तब people used to hammer the person.
हो सकता है भाई.
So coming back to the topic, you talked about a lot of innovations to me, which were very fascinating, honestly. But I just roll back to the earlier question where I asked you, according to you, what are the things or nuances or the concepts of innovation that are very promising to you? Do you think that okay, this is like something that is going to be a game changer or something like that?
So, in terms of healthcare sector, I'd still be considering the development of vaccine, right? So, vaccines were like multifaceted medicines, right? Either you were using sort of like a bacteria or a certain virus in a small quantity to like boost up the immune system of the human body, right? So, vaccines like help to cure a lot of like life-threatening diseases that had reached a pandemic sort of reputation or pandemic sort of like effect in a larger mass of mass around the world. So, if I'm considering vaccines, the first notable vaccine that was really helpful in the last 100 years was the vaccine for smallpox.
Which was like
it was like the
accidentally found.
yeah. So what happened was that Dr. Edward Jenner was treating a patient who was suffering from smallpox, right? And smallpox at that time had no sort of like cure. So what he did accidentally was he had this idea that maybe if we introduce something else to the body, a sort of like a virus of similar nature or similar genus that would help the body to like boost up its immune system.
Antibodies.
Antibodies would have a sort of idea of the cellular structure of the virus,
so they can
they could have a proper immune system like against that virus or any type of virus from that genus or from that category, right? So what he did was he injected the patient of smallpox with cowpox virus, right? And it sort of helped to cure the issue of smallpox. And currently now smallpox is completely eradicated and it's not even like a huge deal. And those who had like sort of developed immunity against smallpox have now like have their like progeny or the generation which have survived them have sort of built in immunity against any sort of boxes, right?
Who said evolution is around?
Yeah. And there is also this innovation for polio as well, right? Polio was a like huge issue in the earlier times, like from 100 years or 200 years.
देखा आपने लापरवाही का नतीजा ऐसे ही पोलियो के खुराक न लेने से पोलियो आपके बच्चे को पड़ सकता है.
Polio could like generate certain breathing complications, certain like structural issues in a body, right? Can cause paralysis as well. So it was a major disease at that point.
So how did we eradicate that?
So again, they use sort of like a similar virus in a small dosage.
It's not eradicated
completely. No, I can't say that. From India, it has been eradicated, but there are certain parts in the world, like maybe for example, Africa.
भारत पोलियो मुक्त है पर दुनिया नहीं. ये वायरस दोबारा देश के अंदर प्रवेश कर सकता है.
And the vaccines capability is actually strong because it lasts quite a long time and it helps to prevent the polio virus to like recur in any way or to come back in any way or even to like inhibit the children in any way.
So what about the other modern innovations that we have?
So apart from viruses, the thing that fascinates me most is the use of 3D printing. A lot of foreign hospitals, foreign nursing homes actually are using the use of like they're relying on AI and AR and VR as well to sort of create a 3D model of the patient. 3D printing, right? 3D printing has helped a lot recently, right? Doctors or medical practitioners are being able to create like sort of joints and cartilages using like biopolymer and bioink. If you're 3D printing something, you can customize it according to the need of the patient, right? अगर पकड़ो किसी का ऐसे joint replace करना है, hip joint replace करना है या फिर knee का joint replace करना है, and they have a different structure from another person, right? So if they are relying on previously made prosthetics that were like standard sizes, it would have made certain complications, right? But now, as they are like the 3D printing technology has developed, it has created a sort of like a better way to amalgamate that prosthetic to the human body.
So
right?
it can perfectly.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And another thing is that the conception of neuralink.
The Elon Musk thing?
Yeah, the Elon Musk. So Neuralink is right now in a very limited user stage because they are in a trial and error stage right now.
I think the first user was in February or something like that.
The first user got scared of the implant and like.
Where do you implant the thing? What is Neuralink? First,
So
explain this thing.
Neuralink is a chip that was like this sort of technology was already existent in the world, and Elon did one thing. His team in Neuralink Corporation did. They made a compact chip which would be acting as a command center for instructing your brain and your muscles to communicate properly. Like, say for example, a person has paralysis, right? If the Neuralink is implanted in his brain, there are diodes there, and it would be connected by a robot to your neuron, brain cells. Right?
That's how the neural.
Yeah, that is connecting the neuron. Like Elon is proposing this thing, it can act as a remote. Like if you are thinking something, it can interact with the technology that is already present in the world, and it can help you to communicate with the technology, communicate with the machine, right?
I understand your point of view and concept regarding the neural. I'll go back to other question before I want to ask another question to you. I just want to ask you this thing that do you think that the other companies will come up with this sort of a chip implantation or something like that in future where every other people can also use it? Like let's say that I want to use my phone but not via phone. I just want to do this with my headset or on just my ear and just want to receive the call. And I have a chip implantation somewhere in my body. Let's say that in my hand or something, somewhere like that. Will this be possible?
Currently, the thing that is closest to this thing is the wearable smart device that was introduced by Motorola. The phone that you can wear as a bracelet or something like that, right? Band. You can wear it as a band. So similar thing can happen. Like where it's not visible outside, maybe it's implanted in your palm, or maybe directly you have a chip here and you can communicate in a telepathic manner, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to you can think and people would understand. Oh, okay, let's make party, let's make plan for a party. Let's
chill करते हैं.
Chill करते हैं, हाँ. दोस्त लोग ऐसे ही समझ पाएंगे. हाँ, चलो chill करते हैं. The main issue is that Neuralink uses lithium-ion battery, right? And uses screws. Uses metal parts in diodes,
and it would be very the surgery would be very
complicated. Surgery can lead up to scarification, can also cause infection in the patient, can cause internal bleeding, hemorrhages as well.
That technology is not for me. So rolling back to the question again, you talked about pandemics before. Regarding through the via your talk about vaccination. So do you think that pandemics or epidemics are inevitable? Like, do you think that? Say that Thanos me, I am.
Snap करते ही ऐसे चुटकी बजाते ही सब कुछ खत्म. So see, the thing is that pandemics and epidemics are something that are already present in the world, right? Present in the nature. Viruses are there, bacteria are there, right? You won't have the idea of it and you can get infected, right? You don't even know. A lot of things are microscopic, right? So virus pandemics are already there. Even in North Pole, people were unearthing some old viruses or old bacteria that had been frozen for God knows how many years, right? and it could lead up to another pandemic. It could lead up to another epidemic, right? We can't say for sure, but maybe we will be like getting affected by some weird bacteria that is coming from space.
We are Venom.
There was this TED talk of I believe Bill Gates. I really believe this thing, and he talked about this thing around 2016 or 2017. Someone somewhere in that episode of a TED talk, he said this thing that the one thing that is going to create a lot of chaos in the future are not war, are not other factors, but pandemics but the viruses. They are going to be it's not going to be AI. It's not going to be any world war. It's going to be viruses that are inevitably cause another pandemic or something that we didn't have any like readiness with. We are not ready. So we believe that is true.
I won't be saying last 3-4 years, but yeah, 2019, 2020 for the most part, 21 for the most part, was like the worst few years, right? We were
the humanity.
For the humanity. We were like hiding in our houses, like hiding from someone that is invisible to us, right? We had no idea how it came to being. We had no idea how to cure it, right?
It was like desocializing with
desocialization was there. Economy was down. Transportation had drastic. Logistic was people lost their job. People lost people actually, and to top it off, like you weren't even able to like touch your loved ones for one last time after they died because of the scare or the fear of spreading the disease. Right.
What is the difference between pandemic and epidemics?
So, pandemic is something that is like widespread, that is spreading rapidly, right? For example, COVID was spreading like in a blink of an eye, right? Today it was in like Kolkata, and next day it reached to another like outskirt town of or outskirt village of Kolkata, and you won't be having any idea how it reached there, right? It was airborne first of all, right? So mostly pandemic is something that spreads fast. Pandemic is also something that would be affecting in a large area, right? For the example, like COVID was a disease that spread all over the world. It started in China. Allegedly.
We know allegedly.
Yeah. Started in China, allegedly. And it spread to a lot of countries, right? It spread to France, spread to USA, Europe, and then it also came to India as well, right? And other parts of the world. So, in comparison to this, epidemic would be a bit tamed version of a pandemic. It is usually a slow-moving virus or bacteria or disease.
It's not mostly airborne.
Yeah, it can be airborne.
Mostly airborne.
No, mostly not airborne, but it could be something that can be like spread through face-to-face communication or touch, right? Or being contaminated or like consuming any contaminated food or consuming or getting touched by any contaminated person, right? 1846 to 1856, cholera was a huge pandemic that had affected like Europe, America, Spain, other parts of the world, and it originated from the like South Asian belt, right? It originated from the Ganges belt, Ganges area, basin area, and it spread across the world.
Ebola is
an epidemic at this point of time because it has affected a lot of people in certain parts of Africa, like a limited area, right? And people usually who have like very poor living standards in terms of economy and in terms of like sanitation, hygiene as well, right? They don't have access to clean water, they don't have access to good food, proper dietary supplements are not there, so they can be affected by Ebola as well. Ebola virus is currently an epidemic, right? 18th century or like 17th century, people used to die from measles, mumps, even influenza as well. Like for example, Spanish flu. Spanish flu was actually like the influenza virus spreading through people, and even it was not even like originated in Spain during the World War.
That's the funniest thing
that was the most hilarious part. It was not even originated in Spain. It was probably originating in USA or other parts of the world.
Yeah, mostly Europe and Italy was one of the
countries that had.
But Spain actually accumulated this thing that there is something called this virus is going on.
Spain was neutral during the World War I, right? in 1918s to 1922 or something. At this point of time, the influenza spread. The outbreak was like affecting a lot of people outside of Spain as well. But Spain decided to like announce it on their news broadcast. So it then became known as the Spanish flu. At that point of time, World War was a very menacing time, right? World War I. People were dying left, right, and center. Like a lot of young lives were wasted. And even that point of time, during like the war, in the trenches, there was this virus that was being carried on by lice. They used to carry this typhus virus, right? Typhus bacteria that could end a lot of lives as well. So even that point of time, there was this another virus or bacteria prevalent in the system as well, in the environment as well, and a lot of people died during the and it was something like that. If the bacteria or the virus is affecting you, you will be having like rashes, fever, and you have the urge to like scratch the area that was being affected by the typhus, right? So the thing is that the Black Death or the bubonic plague, for the better term, bubonic plague was actually carried on by rats, who were affected by a plague-inducing virus, and they had fleas. The fleas who would drink blood from the rats would in turn carry the virus, carry the bacteria, and if the flea bites a person, it is then transmitted to that person as well. And at that point of time, see, the main issue was that sanitary practices were not present in Europe at that point of time. Like maybe a lot of Europeans would be getting offended by that, but a lot of areas were not properly sanitized or properly developed in a way that a sanitary system or proper drainage or sewage system could be provided, right? And a lot of people were having very poor lifestyle at that point of time. Like poor lifestyle as in they used to they were not taking proper showers, or they were not washing their bodies properly after urinating. At that point of time, it was like they had sort of very bad healthcare or hygiene related practices, right? And this sort of created a way for the bubonic plague to spread rapidly. And the main issue was that at that point of time, people were unable to devise a cure. People were unable to invent a proper vaccine or proper medicine that could prevent this plague from spreading. And this resulted in a mass death, and people were dying left, right, and center. However, there is this good thing about it. I'm not saying the plague was a good thing, but people who survived this plague were able to develop a stronger immunity that would be helping their coming generation to fight against any sort of similar pandemics, similar viruses, similar plague-related viruses, or even to a certain extent, people were able to survive other viruses such as cholera or even maybe influenza and sort of like that, right? So the death toll is not officially recorded, but it is somewhere around 50 to 200 million people died at that point of time due to the.
That's a big.
That's most of the population of Europe were dead at that point of time. It was a massive issue, and even at that point of time, the doctors. The funny thing is that the plague doctor, creepypasta comes here from this point of time as well. See, doctors were trying to protect themselves, right? And they were wearing proper gloves, clothes that would
that mask.
That weird mask. Crow mask. They
put the image of the.
They thought that it would be helping them from contracting that virus, from contracting that plague.
Who came up with that?
I don't know, but
I just want to know that.
I don't know.
This thing is this is it.
But the doctors did survive, and they were the first.
Yeah, because they thought that if this is working, this is working.
Yeah, and they were the first line of defense against that plague.
That would be an awesome Halloween costume.
Yeah, people still now use that costume as Halloween, and even like for scaring other people and stuff like that. Yeah, so Plague Doctor was.
Halloween is coming up and we are going to bring on some new discounts for that. So check out our website for that and like this video as of now if you think that we gave you certain information that are very better in the modern healthcare field. So like this, share this with your friends and keep on commenting. Your support will help us to make future videos like this and to give you a more detailed information regarding other topics.
And do subscribe to us.
Do subscribe.
So
And follow us on our Instagram channel and our other channels. You can also find us on LinkedIn now. So keep on supporting. Thank you so much. So apart from this pandemic you're talking about, I heard about certain funny pandemics that I think that were just mass hysteria rather than these pandemics. One of them was dancing plague that happened in France, I believe. Have you heard about it? In 1800, I think it happened.
Strasbourg in Germany actually.
It happened in Germany.
Strasbourg in Germany.
Why does weird thing happen in Germany?
Besides, it was in Alsace region of Europe.
So I heard about this thing that people were just constantly dancing to their death.
So,
that something happened like
it's
that.
like sort of like a weird one-off virus. It's not even a pandemic.
I think that was mass
It
hysteria.
was probably mass hysteria. Also, there are records that stated that maybe Satan induced that thing.
And 100% mass hysteria now. So coming back to another topic, the whole thing that is revolving around is around vaccines and pandemics, according to the modern healthcare, even in the modern healthcare innovations. So I want to know this thing to you. These people, the new people, I believe you have heard about anti-vaccination programs.
Yeah.
So do you think that vaccination is necessity and this anti-vaccination movement is a straight politics or straight like something that is just like it doesn't make any sense, just like the flat earther society thing?
Honestly, I agree with this thing because see, vaccine is undoubtedly necessary. Yes, I know there are certain side effects to a vaccine, certain side effects including like mild headache, fever, nausea, having like a body ache, or maybe having certain like a diarrhea or like indigestion, something like that. It can happen because see, it is actually activating your immune system, right? The virus or the bacteria that has been provided through the dosage of vaccine, it's actually helping you to develop immunity against it, right? Like for example, let's take antivenom, right? Antivenom is made using toxin, made using snake venom, right? So if you're getting bitten by a snake, you would be obviously going to the doctor and asking for antivenom, right?
Maybe
Rather than like, oh no, I don't want antivenom, मैं तो ऐसे नागिन डांस करके सांप को बुला लूँगा. But still, see, the thing is that vaccines would be helping you to develop immunity against, and it is actually proven that it has helped to like alleviate a lot of diseases, as I had talked earlier, as I have already told you earlier. Like smallpox has been eradicated. Polio is not a life-threatening disease to a certain extent. Even we got cured from like the COVID pandemic due to the help of Covaxin or
but there were
Pfizer or something
certain
like
side effects that are now
certain side effects would be
from
there
AstraZeneca
because your body is actually trying to cope up with the.
But they are not like mind controlling or something.
It's not
like that.
mind controlling, and it's
Or not leading to autism or something like that.
It's not. It cannot lead to autism. It can cause mild fever, like mild backache, mild headache, mild body joint pains. Maybe for some people it could lead to fever for a few days, but it is not at all life-threatening. Yes, it can be life-threatening for certain people, like people who are already being affected by certain issues, like people suffering from cancer who has undergone chemotherapy.
But they are given this direction that this can lead to this thing.
People who have diabetes or people who are suffering from heart condition.
Proper precautions has been taken for that.
True. People suffering from COPD can have certain like implication and can lead to life-threatening situations, but it is not like a lot of people will be dying from vaccines.
Apart from vaccination programs, the easy access of drugs drugs do, mujhe drugs do.
मुझे ड्रग दो
So, or the modern day medicines. I'm talking
Medicines,
about.
yeah, medicine.
So, that easy access of modern day medicines or drugs have also played a pivotal role in saving lives or changing lives.
True.
So, do you think that the easy accessibility of the drugs has changed a lot of things in the modern day lives?
True. For example, a lot of medicine or a lot of generic medicines are being made by pharmaceutical companies, right? I'll give you example. There are certain antibiotics that cost like 2000 Indian rupees, right? But there are certain variants of that same composition of the medicine is available for fraction of the amount. Like you can get it for like 500 or 1000 rupees, right? So it is actually helping the development of the medicines / drugs, medical medicines, pharmaceuticals, right? Even for example, the distribution of polio virus vaccine, the oral polio vaccine, like OPV, it is like heavily dependent on the distribution system.
The logistics.
Yeah, logistics system. If it's not properly developed and within the stipulated time, then the children would be missing their dosage, and it could lead to the recurrent issues of polio, right? It can lead to polio.
If you want to know more about the logistics system and the supply chain management, we talked about in the earlier episode. Maybe that would you find in the I button. You can check that video out after this video, and support us for future videos like this. I've heard about this thing, Apollo 24/7 in India.
Yes.
There is that.
Tata 1mg is also
Tata
there.
1mg is
That is like
So, do you
providing.
think that also create a lot of supply chain
Yeah.
factors there?
Yes, obviously, like same day delivery of medicine, life-saving medicines like diabetic medicines or for medicines for like heart, or like certain people consume like blood thinning medicines that help to prevent heart attacks and stuff like that. And even like fever and cold for like common stuff, delivery of medicine on the same day has helped a lot actually. And this is obviously dependent on supply chain and logistics process. And without the development of proper supply chain and logistics, I don't think medicine and pharmaceutical companies would have been able to like distribute all the life-saving medicines that are necessary to like
On time.
on-time delivery was not even possible. And this sort of thing has helped to like extend the life of human beings, right?
Talking about the on-time delivery, I do remain on time when my girl is in the house alone, you know.
Nice.
Hey, गाड़ी start कर.
But I do take time in certain other things,
Okay, understood.
you know. I think that's it for this episode. I think you liked it. How was the experience? What do you think that we talked about a lot of things?
It was fun. Maybe if I was like, I had a lot of time to prepare for this thing, but maybe if I had proper knowledge about healthcare, I would have been able to.
So,
give-
as you heard, that it takes a lot of effort and research for doing this sort of a videos for you.
Yeah.
So your like, support, and share would give us a little morale to make these videos, to put on efforts
Yes.
for bringing more research to you through data and analysis. So I hope in the next episode we are going to bring a lot of new detailed analysis towards that. In the
Yeah.
next episode we will be talking about fintech industry.
Yeah, it is like fascinating thing, and
Yeah, so-
currently it is one of the popular topics right now. So stay tuned.
So stay tuned. Keep scribblers. I believe that you are going to stay tuned. You're going to comment down below for the new episode. Sorry for the background noise. If you are hearing something else, we cannot do anything. It's just children, you know.
Random children
Sounding. So I hope that you are going to be with us in the future for the fintech industry episode. And that's it for today. I am Deepak,
I'm Orko.
and this is DNA, powered by Scribble Masters and Scribble Stories. Check out our earlier episode or the past episodes down below, and I hope that you'll be liking and commenting and sharing with your friends and our Nithalle friends. I'll be talking to our Nithalle friends to share the videos with us. please do something for us. We are putting so much efforts for you guys.
Yeah.
So
We need your help, guys.
just do your part.
Share and
Like,
subscribe,
share, and
guys.
subscribe.
Share and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. That's it.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your time. We hope that you'll be having a good time ahead. Please stay tuned for future episode. Bye bye.
Bye.
I am Deepak,
This is Otto.
and we are coming with a show next episode called of DNA. That is healthcare. Welcome back, Scribblers, to our new show. A new episode. अरे भाई रुकना यार. There's so many ads like just pops up like कभी ये देखो अभी वो देखो.
If you are consuming poppy seed, it could help you to have a good sleep as well. So this sort of, this sort of practices are really good.
Shout out to Rohan Joshi. Shout out to Tanmay Bhatt. Sponsor. अच्छा ले सकते हैं. So एक मिनट रुक जाओ भाई. कान में दर्द हो रहा है.
हाँ,
मैं काट दिया.